Meads and Valheim are incredibly underrated tools in any Viking's arsenal. Today, we will be detailing everything you need to know about crafting these powerful potions and share with you which one I think is the very best. Let's dive in. Brewing meads requires first that you build a fermenter. The fermenter does require bronze, and therefore we must progress through to the Black Forest. Crafting will require 5 bronze, 30 fine wood, and 10 resin, but I would recommend you craft at least 2 of these, of which I will explain why shortly. Like workbenches, this device requires a roof overhead with at least 70% coverage. Choose your fermenter location carefully because if you want to destroy and relocate it while fermenting, the mead or mead base will not be returned to you. With the fermenter in place, it's time to craft the mead bases. I will cover each in detail shortly, but we'll use the minor healing base first to illustrate the fermenting mechanics. Mead bases are all cooked at a cauldron and once built and heated with a fire below, combine 10 honey, 5 blueberries, 10 raspberries, and a dandelion for the minor healing base. What is extremely nice about the mead bases is all of them only require a level 1 cauldron, and none will require cauldron upgrades, even the higher tier meads. With the base in hand, interact with the fermenter to insert it. The fermenting process takes 2 full in-game days to yield its mead. With a 30-minute day and night cycle, the fermenting will take a full 60 minutes of in-game time. For this reason, I suggest building a second fermenter to accelerate the process to ensure you are always well stocked with these powerful concoctions. That said, it is worth noting, fermenting will continue to progress while you sleep, which can accelerate the process. Each mead base will yield 6 meads following fermentation. You will know this process is complete when the fermenter animation ceases and again allows you to interact with it when hovering over the barrel. Meads, like food, when interacted with, are consumed, giving you a boost corresponding to the mead type, of which there are 4. Resistance meads, providing a resistance to a particular damage type. Healing meads, giving you a healing boost. Eitr Meads, helping you replace your spellcasting Eitr, and finally, Stamina Meads, increasing your stamina regeneration. As you progress the game, you will discover materials to craft more potent versions of these meads. Unfortunately, it's important to note that only one mead of a particular type can be consumed at a time, and cannot be replaced until their effect has expired. For instance, if you consume a minor healing mead, you will not be able to consume any of the other 3 healing meads until the cooldown has completed. The 3 resistance meads are an exception to this, as all 3 can be in use simultaneously, as well as the best mead Valheim has to offer, as I will reveal in the stamina mead section of this video. I will start with the resistance meads, but of course, we'll share the summarized recipes and stats for all meads at the end. The first of the resistance meads you will desperately need is the poison resistance, whose base can be crafted with Black Forest materials as shown on screen. When popped, you will receive the very resistant status against poison, resulting in a 75% reduction in poison damage for 10 minutes, which is the standard duration for all resistance type meads. This will be valuable in dealing with Great Dwarf Shamans in the Black Forest and an absolute must craft before venturing into the swamp with leeches, blobs, oozers, and even the swamp boss, all dealing poison damage. Second is the frost resistance mead, enabled by the acquisition of blood bags from the swamp's leeches, effectively unlocking progression into the mountains by preventing the freezing effect. Without this mead, proximity to a fire source or frost resistant armor like the Fenris or Wolf armor sets, you will be subject to the freezing effect when entering the mountains, which crushes your health and stamina regeneration, but also hits you for 1 damage per second while exposed. Further, this mead will also neutralize the cold effect you would otherwise be subject to after nightfall. And thirdly, gives you resistance to frost damage, yielding 50% damage reduction from the source, like from the mountain's drakes, and its boss, Motor. The third and final resistance mead is ironically a wine, but functions no differently than any of the meads. The fire resistance barley wine, as you probably guessed, provides 50% reduction damage from fire sources. This mead is uncovered through the acquisition of barley and cloudberries in the plains, and is a must craft for the fight of Yagluth, as he does a ton of fire damage. Further, this is one of the most common elemental damage types of creatures across Valheim, from the mountain's cultists through to the Ashland's undead mobs, and therefore should be in any player's arsenal. Plus, it can help you from perishing in a fire of your own making. There are 4 healing meads in Valheim, with 3 of them taking similar shape, but increasing in potency as the game has progressed, starting with the minor healing mead discovered in the Black Forest following the acquisition of blueberries. This mead, when consumed, will provide 50 HP healing over 10 seconds for a healing rate of 5 HP per second. Second, unlocked through blood bags in the swamp, is the medium healing, providing 75 HP healing over 10 seconds for a healing rate of 7.5 HP per second. And thirdly, after getting blood clots and royal jelly from ticks and infested mines, the major healing provides 125 HP over 10 seconds, equating to a rate of 12.5 HP per second. Each of these meads do, however, come with a 2-minute cooldown following their use. The fourth and most powerful healing mead becomes craftable after the picking of vine berries and smoke puffs in the Ashlands. Rather than providing flat healing, this mead increases your health regeneration by 25% for a full 5 minutes. While this does not have the instant effect of the meads before it, it does have the potential to heal more overall health across its 5-minute duration. With the introduction of magic and Valheim's version of mana, Eitr, we also received 2 distinct meads to assist in recouping our spent magic. First, craftable in the Mistlands, is the minor Eitr Mead, giving a quick boost of 125 Eitr over 10 seconds for a rate of 12.5 Eitr per second, but with a 2-minute cooldown. Second, since the Ashlands launch, a lingering Eitr Mead was added, providing an increase to Eitr regeneration of 25% rather than a flat Eitr boost for 5 minutes. Combining these meads with excellent Eitr foods and Eitr reducing magic armor will have you casting spells like Harry Potter himself. Like healing meads, there are 4 stamina meads that will be available to us as we progress the game, but with more varied effects. The first we uncover will be the minor stamina through the acquisition of Meadows materials, and when popped, will provide 80 stamina over its 2-second duration, but will have a 2-minute cooldown. The next upgrade over the minor stamina is medium, functioning exactly like minor, but providing twice the stamina at 160, but is only craftable following picking cloudberries found in the plains. And before getting to the most OP mead in all of Valheim, we have the lingering stamina mead crafted with Mistlands materials in sap and Jotun puffs, but like the lingering health before it, increasing every generation rate, but in this case, stamina by 25% for a full 5 minutes. While lingering requires super late game resources, this next mead, and what I consider to be the best mead in all Valheim, is the tasty mead. This mead is craftable as soon as the Black Forest, following the picking of blueberries, and is mega powerful, giving the player 100% stamina regeneration for 10 seconds following its consumption with no cooldown, enabling frequent use as required. Unfortunately, it does come with 2 downsides that need to be managed. One, it also reduces health regeneration by 50%, which can be dangerous when at low health. And 2, its regenerating properties stop while you are consuming stamina. As a result, you will need to stop running, jumping, or using your weapon for the rapid stamina regeneration to take place. Overall, considering the cheap cost, early access, and powerful effect, it is the best and most well-rounded mead in all of Valheim. As promised, here are the full stats and recipes for each of Valheim's meads. Should you want to maximize the farming of the required materials for your own mead inventory, my complete farming guide is the perfect video for you to watch next.